My husband doesn't take a salary. He has no financial interest in any of this. I don't take a salary. I have no financial interest.
The notion of the sloppiness and the greed that follows on this sloppiness with failing to report donations or failing to get your tax returns right or failing to comply with the rules, and greed in terms of taking donations from particularly questionable people is simply inexcusable.
This all smells. Now, can you prove that these were bribes? No, but can anybody reasonably infer that these people were trying to buy influence? Of course. And the Clintons seem oblivious to that possibility or knowing of it and figuring they can get away with it. And then, of course, you have the instances in which the reporting that was supposed to occur to make all this transparent did not. So you add it all up, it's pretty ugly.
Yeah, it's way more egregious than I expected.
Because it goes to the core of whether there is at least the appearance of an obstruction of justice kind of activity on her part of getting rid of that email server.
I do think, as Helene says, it's the arrogance of it.
It's stupid and seedy. It's stupid politically because she's putting herself in a position where people can't trust her, and it's seedy because of the obvious, at the very least, perceptions of a conflict of interest. You don't have to be a conspiracy theorist here, Chris, to know that the foreign companies hope to buy influence. You don't have to be a lawyer to know that they violated ethics laws.
Extraordinarily serious. Imagine if an assistant secretary of state had done what Hillary Clinton, we know that she did, they'd be out of the State Department.
It's not about the evidence, it's about the appearance of conflict of interest, and everyone else seems to understand that this is a huge problem other than the Clintons. I mean, even the Obama administration said you have to sign up for these disclosure rules, you have to stop foreign money because we understand that this is a problem. But the Clintons seem to think that the normal rules don't apply to them.
But the fact is, you're sitting on the Secretary of State, or you're Bill Clinton running the foundation, and somebody's giving you all this money and you know it has government implications, and that doesn't ring all sorts of alarm bells. Where's the self-protection there? Where's the self-censorship or the self-thing? No, this is not right. And so I'm sort of stunned by it. I'm surprised by it.
But in this instance, look, yes, this stinks, and the judge and jury gets to be every single American, but they will look at this and say this stinks.
Jonathan Chait, who's no conservative pundit, he's I think pretty left of center, in New York Magazine. This is what he wrote. All sorts of unproven worst-case scenario questions float around discussing this book. But the best-case scenario, he writes, is bad enough. The Clintons have been disorganized and greedy. He called the news this week, today at the time, about the Clintons all fleshes out in one way or another their lack of interest in policing serious conflict of interest problems that arise in their overlapping roles.
He was just trying to repair America's strained relationship with Israel. But you know what? He doesn't need to worry about that. Our relationship will be better in the next administration, just as soon as Israel makes a generous donation to the Clinton Foundation.
What difference at this point does it make